Like I was so bad at quote dating.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea what I was doing. And I was doing it all the wrong ways. I was acting out girls. None of my friends knew I was going on dates with them. I was making out with them after the first date.
What?
Yeah.
JJ.
I know. But it was... What's up, fam? This is your boy JJ and
Alec. What's
Alec Bevere.
That's right. Yeah.
And you are...
We use first name and last names, I guess.
Well,
you just use your first name. I use both. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
No, it's okay.
Alec Bevere.
I don't
Yes,
know
hello.
why we need to use your last name because two reasons. One, Alec, like you're the only Alec I think that exists in the whole world.
But besides, Alec Baldwin, Alec Trebek, or like any of the other Alex. But yes, I agree with you.
I mean, they might be on Hard of Dating,
Dude, Alec Trebek isn't actually. I think Alex Trebek's. Never mind.
Oh,
I think he's dead. But
yeah, he's definitely not going to be on here anytime soon. And Baldwin, I don't know if he's a Christian.
You know what? Who knows?
His daughter is.
He might need some dating advice. I'm not sure if he's married to anyone.
Yeah, we'll find out. Well,
Who knows?
You don't need an introduction because you've already been on the podcast.
It's an honor to be back.
Yeah, before I existed.
Yeah, but I mean, you always existed. I mean,
before I existed. So you've actually been on Hard of Dating longer than I have.
Wow. Well, I guess so. Yeah. Well, I mean, as in like an older episode, yes. But I mean, you've been way more.
Yeah.
Stuff,
well, I mean,
yeah, so I mean, yeah.
If you want to run this episode, I think.
Sure. So JJ, I want to hear what are the top 10 things that you were working on in your. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'd like Andrew Huberman style.
Ooh, yeah.
You listen to him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I actually love Andrew Huberman. He's great for sure.
I love him too.
I've introduced a lot of people to him.
Today is a little bit different than Huberman Labs.
Yeah.
It's a mini-sode. So since the last time you came on, we do these Friday episodes specifically for the dudes. The women always, sneak in and listen, of course. But this is the Friday mansodes.
I love it. Friday mansodes.
Yeah.
Great.
So what we'll do, I've never had a guest do the introduction with me before. But if you'd like, we can do our segments together and then we can get started. How does that sound?
Sure. Do we is it like some like intro music and like we like,
yes,
like turn each other's like,
exactly.
like hair or something like that? Or what is it?
What song do you want for the intro music though?
Oh my gosh. Wait,
like
no,
baseball,
well,
like walk-up
copyrighted? Song? Oh, well, I mean, okay, there's this, I mean, oh no, that definitely wouldn't work. Right now I'm thinking of Moon Crystal by M83.
Oh, that's a good one.
Have you heard it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's
M83.
the most ridiculous song.
Okay.
I actually use it for the most ridiculous things constantly. It sounds like a game show song. So I don't know why, but like my brain instantly went there. But
I thought we were going to do like Bangarang by Skrillex.
No, I'm not. I'm like, I'd probably go more for like the Odessa route. Like if you've heard Odessa, I'm pretty sure I've showed you Odessa before. Oh,
yes.
I love Odessa. It'd probably be, I don't know, if I was doing a song that was like a walk-up song, it would be Loyal by Odessa. And that song is like, it already sounds kind of like a like football college amp up song. So love it.
All right. So what we're going to do after this is film like a walk-in part for you, like intro NFL NBA style, like you're walking in slow motion and we'll play the music. Okay.
Done.
All right. I love it.
Love it.
For the first segment, I like to do what I'm loving in my life lately. This is just like sharing what I'm loving. I'm going to go with homemade burgers. We're about to have them.
Homemade burgers.
Right after we finish this episode.
Yes.
And I genuinely think that homemade burgers are probably like, I don't know what it is, 10 times burger than any burger I would have out in the wild.
Oh, absolutely.
If done well.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Like you're saying out, like whenever like you go to like a restaurant?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right. And I think I go back and forth. I think because you have total control on like sauce, how much. And I think like you have total control over like those little weird things that you like to put on your burger. Like for me, it's you're gonna have it like the spicy jam and bacon. I think if you put that on the burger, it's like, oh man,
Oh,
Should we just end this early?
no.
and go?
I mean, wow. That's the whole reason why I'm here. I mean, I didn't know that we were recording a Heart of Dating episode.
Oh, you
but
did it. You just walked in.
I mean, I wanted the burger, man.
Wait,
no,
did you
because
actually?
I've definitely heard about these. No, I'm totally kidding. But no, I'm totally with you. Gosh, Maddie and I, which is my wife, Maddie and I, we love making homemade burgers constantly. And for me, I love even putting stuff in the meat and marinating it beforehand.
Oh man,
like literally, I'll throw like banana peppers in there. I'll throw
in the meat.
Yeah, if you put like banana peppers in the meat, you put cheese in the meat, and of course you can put bacon in the meat. So like
you just load the meat up.
Well, yeah. But then it all soaks into the meat, and then it tastes amazing. So like you put onions, turkey bacon, banana peppers. You can, but then also even something like if you wanted to, you could do like jalapenos.
Please tell me you cut the burger in half and you make it like a sandwich.
What?
Like take your hamburger patty, raw. You cut it in half, and then are you putting all these things in there and then putting the sandwich over?
No. You put it in the meat beforehand.
Oh,
and it
you
chills in the fridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it chills in the fridge for like at least like you want to go for like 5 hours.
I thought you were about to make like a sandwich and a sandwich.
Oh no. But actually, fun fact for you. I mean, whenever you eat a hamburger, you're supposed to eat it upside down. Did you know that?
I didn't. Why is that?
Yeah. So the proper way to eat a hamburger is to come in, you grab the hamburger from the bottom like this, you grab it with your hands.
And then you rotate it to you.
And then you rotate it up and you take a bite and then you put it back down.
Why
normal.
is that?
It's that's supposed to be the normal way because you get all of the actual flavors hitting your tongue then. Instead of just literally your tongue's hitting basically the bun and meat.
Oh, okay.
But
that's
if you
why they always
grab
on top.
and you grab it like that, then you're actually getting the correct flavors. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get like different mind-blowing information out of you today.
Dude. Well, there you go.
I don't know if I'll ever eat my burger the same.
Mind blown. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? We're going to have to try it tonight.
So would you say that like you have another item for what you're loving, or like is that like your?
Man. Well, I mean, I could definitely play off that. Let's just go off that. I mean, I feel like that's already great.
That was amazing. That was better than anything I've ever shared.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Okay.
And guys, try it. Listen, I know it sounds crazy to eat a hamburger upside down. Again, grab it with your fingers underneath the bun, thumbs on top of the on the top side of the bun, then rotate it up. And then rotate it back down.
I mean, it makes sense.
So yeah, like literally nobody will look at you funny because it'll look like you're eating it normal, but it's so much easier than coming down with your thumbs and then trying to take a bite. Like things start to fall out the back. It's fascinating. Like whenever you know the proper way of eating a hamburger, it changes everything.
I was gonna say, I'm so excited to try this.
Oh yeah, dude, we're doing it tonight.
What if like you're gluten-free and you eat it with a lettuce? Like wrap.
You know, you probably shouldn't be eating a hamburger then. So.
Yeah. Okay. Second one.
Yeah.
In my DMs, I love this. I get a bunch of DMs from dudes.
Okay.
Not like that.
No.
I tell them to DM me. Okay, and we have a good time.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna swig some water. I just came from something else and I had to talk a lot. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. This is your second.
No. It's not like that. It was definitely work, but I was talking a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, go for it.
All right. So here's the DM. Hey, JJ, I got a question. There is a girl who I've known about 6 years, and I've always had feelings for her. I moved out of state 4 years ago, and the extent of our talking was around like wishing each other happy birthday every year. We've been talking more recently, and I realized I'm still interested in her, especially over the past 4 years. Whenever I talk to anyone about my love life, my mind goes to her.
Ooh.
I previously never made my feelings known, but as we are talking more, I'm curious if I should tell her or if that would be a bad idea. Any help would be great. Thanks.
What's this guy's name? Or
it's
no?
Anonymous.
Anonymous.
We'll call him Gregory.
Mr. Gregory Anonymous. That's a good question. It's a solid question. But I think actually Gregory Anonymous has nothing to lose because if he's in another state now, why not tell? I don't know. Like, why not tell her? Sydney, yeah. Sydney Anonymous, which it's crazy. They both have the same last name. So they have that in common. Okay. So I mean, it seems like it's hard for me to tell, but it seems like he's just thinking about her a lot. And did he say he's talking to her more?
Yeah. He said they've been talking more recently.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all he said about it. And I'm like,
yeah.
For me, I agree. Like, I immediately thought of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean,
why not?
If he's already talking to her more, then I mean, obviously, I don't know. There must have been some sort of comfort level. Like
Right.
Once like they were far apart from each other, they felt more comfortable to talk. And so that's great that they're opening up, talking more. I mean, I'd make sure they're talking enough. Excuse me, that this is something that he does want to actually pursue. But then, yeah, like, why not? I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? He's not going to see her.
Totally.
Like,
I had a situation
for a week or two. No.
Very similar, actually.
Yeah.
When I was in Seattle, there was a girl in my church group. We always like got along great.
Yeah.
We never really went out for any particular reason. Oh, actually, she had a boyfriend and they broke up. So 2-3 years later, we always kept in touch. You Instagram, DM, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how, you just kind of start talking a little bit more.
Yeah.
I noticed that she had just really grown and matured in Christ. I was like, all of a sudden, I think what you said, though, is important. I didn't drop out of left field and was like, hey, I'm so interested in you. Like, we kind of organically started talking again.
Yep.
And then we met up when, like, we went on a couple FaceTime dates. And then around Christmas time, we just met halfway and went on, like, a date weekend and stayed with friends in the same city.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out, obviously.
Yeah.
Her name was not Kait.
Oh, man.
But I'm like, the best part is, like, the worst that can happen is just, like, nothing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So Gregory Anonymous, what are you doing? Just go right ahead, talk to her some more, build up that.
Yeah.
I'd say build exactly what you're saying, build up that rapport, have some more fun. Maybe try to focus on first, if you are really nervous and if you don't think things are going to be taken well, maybe focus first on making the conversations even more fun. So I would say you could do it even a little bit backwards in the sense of you don't have to full blown ask her out yet. But what if you did just start to, because obviously they're growing more in conversation. Now, what if you started doing something fun over like
play
over like long distance
games, like kind of naturally ramp up the flirting or
play like
connection.
A game. There's like the Pigeon app on like the phone that thing's pretty
love
fun.
That
yeah, I don't know, like play. Yeah.
And then you set the stakes and then you say, okay, loser has to buy the other one, ice cream from afar.
Yeah.
And
that, I mean, obviously I don't know, Sydney Anonymous and so really I don't know how she would respond, but it seems like she's felt more comfortable.
Yeah.
Since there's been a little bit of distance and now she's opened up more. So I would just make it even more comfortable, make it more fun.
Oh, I totally think there's the fact that you guys are still talking years later is a big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like she would not be interested in you.
But Greg, if she, just go for it. And honestly, if she says no at first, that's okay. Like, just kind of brush it off your shoulders, still have fun with her if you really enjoy talking to her, and just know that this is a good person to talk to and hang out with.
And it's like the lowest stakes ever. So if it doesn't work out, like it really, you're not going to see her next week.
You're not going to see her at work. No, you're not going to see her in the grogrocery store.
You're good.
You're good, bro.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Last question before I ask you more questions. Okay.
Sure.
I always ask any guests on these mansodes, kind of like a dude specific question.
Okay.
A would you rather one.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this one.
No, well, you didn't ask me that last question or this question. So folks, this is off the cuff. So yeah.
Oh, this is great.
I'm ready for it.
I think I have an idea of what you're going to say. I asked Grant Skeldon. This question is so funny.
Okay.
It really shows a lot about you. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Hear me out. Would you rather fight an ostrich to the death? Like you're like in a little arena.
So like literally the ostrich, like he wants to kill me.
He's
like,
aware.
Like he doesn't realize that I would be his friend, and like I would actually want to help him find another ostrich and breed more ostrich chicks, and then like but we can make a nice family and clan.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't want.
You are.
He's pissed at me.
You killed his parents.
Why did I kill his? I'm trying to make it. No, I didn't kill his parents. Somebody put performance enhancement drugs in him. Okay.
You've been framed,
and then I've been framed,
and you're his mortal enemy.
Okay, so I have to fight an ostrich to the death.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
And he wants to kill you. Second option is you fight a shark in a swimming pool.
Oh, nice. In a swimming pool? Wait. Do I have to fight the shark to the death?
No. Well, yes. You have to fight the shark to the death.
Okay.
But the shark can't kill you. He can only take off a limb of your choice.
Okay.
If you did lose. And that's the worst that can happen. Once he takes off a limb, it's match over.
So you're saying like I go right ahead, I do these matches with either one of them.
Yeah.
So one of them's to the death with the ostrich.
Yeah. For both.
So well, the ostrich will kill me, you're saying.
Yeah.
Like if the ostrich had the ability to kill me, he would. The shark, he just wants to mess around. He just wants to kind of like attack and wrestle.
Him, yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I bit off your arm, but now I'm done.
And you didn't taste good.
Interesting. Okay. Do I have any items
Nothing.
with me? Nothing.
With the arena, with the ostrich, it's like a dirt arena.
Okay.
And then it's a swimming pool, but you can't really get out. It's like deeper.
What type
walls.
of shark? Because I mean, honestly, that's also a really important question too.
Let's do tiger shark.
A tiger shark. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. I mean, I actually love sharks, and
that's a pretty bad one to find yourself in a swimming pool with.
Well, see, a tiger shark. That's very interesting. How big's this pool?
A standard swimming pool.
Standard swimming pool.
But the walls are like super high, so like there's.
Is there a shallow end though?
Yeah, but it's not very shallow.
Okay, it's not very shallow.
Up to your like chest.
It's up to my chest.
Yeah.
Okay, and how long do I have to fight the shark?
Till you kill it.
Till I kill it? I have to kill the shark?
Yeah, or like
why do I have to kill the shark? Man, it's so fun.
If you
okay, but yeah, sure. All right.
If you could like
so I've been framed by the shark too. Because honestly, a shark. So with a shark, normally, even if you have something like a pole, if you just poke at a shark will like leave you alone.
Yeah.
Like literally, if you had like a fishing stick, and if you just or a fishing pole, and if you just poked at like a shark, and like a few times like he comes at you, no, you would annoy him and he wouldn't try to attack you anymore. So I'm trying not to kill either the ostrich or the shark. But if I had to kill one of them,
we're not liable for advice given on this podcast.
No, we're not. But if you are out in the ocean and if a shark is coming at you, just literally grab something that's not your arm so that it doesn't bite your arm and just poke at it. So
what about like a chicken wing or
because I've actually been spearfishing a lot. And so whenever you're spearfishing, sharks come up to you and try to bite you because whenever you spearfish, you literally shoot a fish.
It's bleeding.
And then you attach it to your body. And then you're still hunting for more fish underwater. So
they're like, this is
so like sharks, they're
like a kebab skewer.
And so like you have to know how to handle a shark, but you don't want to kill a shark like normally because sharks are honestly, they're nice. Like they're just curious creatures. Like most of the time, I'm serious. Like you smile whenever I say sharks. I love sharks. Like
so you're biased.
So I'm not going to get in the water with the shark because I don't want to kill that shark. A, B, I don't know how big it is. C, if it's a tiger shark though, you wouldn't even see it coming. Tiger sharks are very stealthy and they are very aggressive. So
it's clear saltwater pool.
Clear saltwater pool. I'd still say no to the tiger shark. I already know Grant Skeldon's answer. His answer is if he knows how to tell if a shark's in the water and he goes up and he tastes the water. And
is that in his blood as a South African?
And if the water tastes like salt, then he knows there's a shark in the water and he doesn't get in the water. Like Grant, there's no way that Grant said the shark, but I would agree with Grant. And I haven't even heard his podcast or whatever, but I would totally fight the ostrich because ostriches are also stupid. Like, did you know that ostriches, like, if they're afraid, they'll literally bury themselves in like.
But this one's not afraid. No. He's taking a bunch of pre-workout.
I would scare him. I don't care that he's taking pre-work.
You got to kill him,
JJ.
He's aware.
I'm gonna scare him. Like literally, like even if he was to pluck at me and if there was some blood, I'd just take it and just put little marks like, and then like he'd be Rambo? Like, yeah, and then like he would be in a corner. Like also his neck too. Like
so you're gonna intimidate him.
Oh, I'm gonna scare him. I'm totally gonna go. Well, he's got a massive neck to go for. Do I have any weapons with me or no?
No, but your nails are growing out.
Oh, dude, my nails are growing out. I mean, I can't believe I let myself go, but. I would totally say, yeah, the ostrich. I mean,
he's gonna die.
Oh yeah,
you might even eat him.
If the water's up to my neck / chest and a shark, no, he has way too much of an advantage. And if this is like to the death, I have to take the ostrich. Yeah, like
you're taken out.
Yeah, and honestly, yeah, a shark. Yeah, you punch in the gills, you do whatever you have to do, but like,
you can only lose a limb. But you can only lose a limb.
Listen, an ostrich is not going to kill me. A shark. Like if a shark bites off a limb, I like my limbs, okay, like, and I would rather die than
walk around with
without a left arm,
without
an arm or something like I want the story. I want to be able to say, hey, you know what? I did this for other ostriches to prove you shouldn't ostracize people, and you shouldn't, just be doing that. Like, you let that go. You let that hate go.
Alex,
someone's probably been
against
framed.
ostracization to the point that he'll kill any ostrich.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't kill any ostrich. No, I was framed.
That's how much you stand against
very
it.
clear. I was so framed. It's insane.
All right, we're eating ostrich burgers tonight. I can't wait.
Framed is this. Oh yeah, done. That actually sounds pretty good.
I know it does.
Yeah.
I love this episode because, by the way, Kait's gotten, through the years, she's gotten so much flack for this kind of topic, dating multiple people. Obviously, people hear it and they have different definitions. So dating multiple people is a kind of a loaded phrase. Ooh. For one person, it sounds healthy and fine and what they're doing anyway. And for the other one who just got burned by the person who's dating someone else and didn't tell them, and broke up with them last minute and last week, like, they're obviously not a big fan. So you did something called what we call as like the dating challenge. That's kind of like what we call it around Heart of Dating.
Which I actually didn't even know I was doing the dating challenge. I just guess kind of did it. But then later, whenever, Kait talked to me about it, I was like, oh yeah, I totally did the dating challenge.
Well, tell me what exactly did you do and how did you like it?
Yeah. Okay. So man, that's a full story. So you're talking right now about dating multiple people.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure it's clear.
As like a mindset, like a very specific thing, like you're committing to.
Yeah. I just want to make sure it's clear for anyone that's listening, and also I'm actually asking for me too.
Yeah.
So you're talking about dating multiple people at once.
Yes.
And
not exclusively.
Not exclusively. Yeah. So there's a few different things that happen for me. So I think I need to give a little bit of like my background. So my family, they're in a pretty popular light, and I would actually get a lot of people that were interested in me, for wrong reasons, I'd say, that they wanted to get closer to my family, or like it was tough because I wouldn't know if somebody was actually wanting to date me just for me. And honestly, I kind of had some great potential of dating people that were in other states and other countries. And I kind of was in like this weird realm of not extremely popular, like to like the sense of like somebody who, is like, I don't know, some sort of like movie star, but still some popularity in the sense just because of like my family and like my background, that it would make things really interesting for me, that it felt like I couldn't really date local sometimes because I felt like I couldn't trust people local. And then maybe I'd have to date people that were, and this sounds wrong to say, but like at a certain, like just maybe understanding because maybe they have other backgrounds that are similar to mine, or they have, I don't know, maybe a recognizable name or whatever,
Yeah.
So I want this to be pretty clear that I would actually, even though it seemed like I'd be somebody who would date lots of people, I wouldn't.
Why would you say that you might be someone who dates multiple?
So even though maybe I'd have access to, hey, potentially talking to so-and-so or talking to so-and-so, or maybe talking to this person or talking to that person, I wouldn't because... And I think that you have a lot of the same beliefs on this because we've talked a little bit about this before in the past, but because I didn't want to commit to something because there was just so many options, I think. But then also just because I kind of had like this distrust a little bit in people as well. There's actually this story, and this may not make total sense to the listeners, but I want to share actually a story really quick. If you don't mind, I know I'm kind of ranting right now, just based off like your simple question. But there is a story that somebody told me, and it's a fascinating story. And this is actually a true story. So there is this man, and he owned a farm. And he owned this farm in Africa.
His name Old MacDonald.
I know, no. His name was not Old MacDonald's, and he had a farm. No, there's this man in this family who grew up on this farm, and I believe the farm was in Africa, if I remember correct. And one day, this priest actually came into town, and he was like, "Hey, you know what? I'll actually host you at like my house." And so he goes right ahead and he lets the priest in, and the priest is talking about his traveling because he went around and he ministered to different people, and he was sharing about these rocks that were called diamonds. And he's like, these diamonds are these amazing things. And literally, like, the diamonds are worth so much money. And like these diamonds, like you could, like, if you get them, you could literally buy like a whole city with them. Like literally they're so expensive. And like, and if you find an area where diamonds are at, like people, they're searching all over the world for them, but like you become like the most wealthiest person in like the world. And so again, this is a true story. And this man heard the story from the priest, and he was like, this is so fascinating. And he, the priest left, and he thought to himself, and he got back to work and on his farm, and he was just like, why am I out here farming? I should go and I should find a diamond. And so he decided to sell his farm. So he sells his farm. Okay. And he takes his family, and he takes all the money that he made from the farm, and he starts to go to different areas around the world to try to find diamonds. So he went first to Italy, and then he went to this one place in southern Africa, and then he traveled all the way to this one area over near India, all looking for diamonds. And he went all around the world looking for diamonds, but he couldn't find any. And he literally spent all of his wealth like trying to find diamonds. Now, what's crazy is that same priest, he came back through this area, as in the area wherever he first met the man, and he met the new owner who the man sold the land to. And he said, hey, I've stayed here before. Is there any way that I could actually come and stay at your house? And the man invited him, and he's like, yeah, sure, go ahead and come on in. And so I think that you can see right now. So on the man's fireplace, on like his mantle, he had this rock up there. And the priest was looking at the rock, and he said, what rock is that? And he's like, oh, that's a rock that I found just the other day while out by like the stream. And he's like, this rock, I think it's a diamond. And he literally started to chip away at this rock. And he's like, this rock is a diamond. And he's like, what? No, there's no way that could be a diamond. So the priest said, can you show me where you found this? So the new owner of the farm goes right ahead, and he takes the priest to the stream that's on the property. And the priest goes right ahead, and he pushes his hand around in the water, and they find all these diamonds. And so there was all these diamonds right there at the land where the guy literally sold everything to go try to find diamonds. It was literally right there on his own property. And believe it or not, this diamond field that was found is the largest diamond field that's ever been found in history. And again, this is a real story. I'm not making this up. I know it sounds sounds like a proverb or something like that, or like some made up fable, but it's not. So somebody told me that story, and I was just fascinated by the story. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then they told me, they're like, hey, Alec, I think that story's for you. Like, you actually have all these people around you who are great people, and you're not really taking the time to really get to know these people, invest your time in these people, kind of dig around, understand people, and see if there's diamonds that are literally in your own area or the people who you're around right now. And I was like, wow, that's really fascinating.
Yeah.
So what happened was
wow.
Yeah, I know. So
great story.
It's a very powerful story. But what happened was then that paired with, I did start to read Dr. Henry Cloud's book.
Was it How to Get a Date Worth Keeping?
How to Get a Date Worth Keeping. And he talks about how, you should try to just date multiple different people and just get to know these different people. And I was like, well, that's fascinating. And I kind of paired what was going on with me internally of like, I need to not be so afraid of just like kind of getting to know people.
Yeah.
And I need to just try this.
Was it get to know people, or did it seem like at times people in a different state, country was maybe correct. A little bit more exciting, more capable, more...
You're correct. I'm not using the right verbiage here. Whenever I say get to know somebody, I mean dating somebody.
Yeah.
I would not just date anyone.
Right.
I would wait and then be like, oh, that's the perfect person. I'm going for that. Kind of like the diamond field. Like I was kind of like the first farmer who'd be like, oh, I need to go here. And, right, I need to go all out on in the Italy. Surface. I need to search Italy.
Yeah.
And then be like, no, it wasn't Italy. And then
but on the surface, they looked super exciting, super promising. They checked all these boxes that you maybe had dreamed up.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
So, but then you kind of then have made your choice, and because of that, you can't really make any other choices, and you kind of have to like wait like time, and then you can go back out and maybe
reload.
try again. Yeah, you have to. And so I was like, and whenever I was realizing this, I was into my late 20s, and I was like, what the heck, man? I just have to try something different.
Totally.
And so I realized, and actually I talked about this in one of the conferences, Heart of the Dating conferences. I realized there's 4 different stages to, or maybe 5. Hang on.
5, yeah.
5, yeah, 5. So I talked about in one of the sessions how people think of single, dating, engaged, married, right?
Yes.
And then I realized I was like, oh wait, there's single, there's dating, as in you're literally going on dates with somebody. There's a relationship.
Yep.
You're in a relationship with somebody. There's engaged, and then there's married. And so literally my mindset of whenever I was like, oh, I need to view dating as not a relationship, because dating in someone's mind, whenever they hear, oh yeah, they're dating, it makes sense in your mind to, oh, they're in a established relationship.
Totally.
Instead of, oh, they're going on dates.
They use them synonymously. They're
Correct.
Exchangeable.
And that's exactly just how people, so literally for my mind, whenever I was just like.
That's how I operated too.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for like my mind, when I was just like, oh, what if I viewed it as single, dating, in a relationship,
right,
engaged, married?
Because before that, and I felt the same way, I felt like when I was asking out a girl on a date, I might as well be asking her to be in a relationship, which is also kind of like an arrogant assumption that like you choose that girl and they would be totally fine being in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
Like we play it all up into our head. This is basically guaranteed if I ask out this girl, we're going to be in a relationship.
Yeah. And so literally I was in this weird place of, again, kind of like the farmer, going for either like this one person, so like this one area, and just going all in on that, but then losing time, losing energy, instead of really being like, well, let me just go right ahead and take this person out and treat this person great, and not do anything physical by any means. Like not even holding hands. Like I literally would not even hold hands with these girls that I would go on dates with. But just go ask people out on dates, and then literally ask someone else out on the date the very next day. Yeah. I definitely have some stories. Yeah. I'm sure. Cause I definitely maybe took it a little bit too far. And Maddie and I, which is now my wife, actually, whenever I met Maddie, I just got to share this other story really quick. That's great. Whenever I met Maddie, I went on a date with her.
When you were doing this dating challenge? Like you were in the middle of it?
Correct. So I went out on a date with Maddie.
Is that what you called it?
I did not call it the dating challenge. I just...
No. Is that what you called it with Maddie? Like you want to go out on a date with me?
I did call it a date. Okay. I took her out on a date. It was nighttime.
Okay.
Okay.
Dates can happen at any time of the day, but...
Yes, it was nighttime. I took her out on a date. We were out very late. It was awesome. We were just talking. We were walking on like bridges. We were walking through these parks. We were just having so much fun, right? It was magical. She saw her very first shooting star during this time. It was like this magical thing, right? And you're like, whoa, it's amazing. And then the very next morning, I went on a date with another girl. and then I had to wrap up that date relatively quick after a while with that girl, because then I had another date with another girl.
A third girl.
At the same coffee shop.
With the girl number 2.
Literally, now, granted, this was at a singles mixer, okay?
Okay.
So, but even at the singles mixer, I'm like I need to like still make sure I'm,
getting to know
anyone, like yeah, and not being like, okay, I went on a date with one person, and actually I had somebody tell me, like, because I called them the next morning, and they're like, hey, I called them. I was like, hey, do you need help tearing down the event? Because they were hosting this singles mixer event, and they're like, no, you need to go on another date with somebody. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you need to go on another date with somebody. And so literally,
girl number 4?
No. Okay. So this is the way it happened. So at nighttime, I went on a date with Maddie.
Yeah.
Which then later became my wife. Then the next morning I called to help tear down the event, and they're like, no, you need to go on another date. So I then went on I responded, I Instagrammed 2 people, and I was like, hey, are you free would you want to go on a date? One girl responded, and then another girl responded.
Oh,
and then I was just like, hey, do you want to meet at this one coffee shop? And then I told the other girl, hey, do you want to meet at this coffee shop at 2 o'clock?
What are the...
So literally, I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I got to wrap this up with the first girl at the coffee shop. I went to the back, just to the bathroom, came out, and then the other girl was there. And then I went on.
Was girl number 2 gone?
Girl number 1 / girl number 2. Yeah, what was already gone. So girl number 3 was there. And then...
that would have been that.
But honestly,
close.
But then honestly, during that time, then Maddie, and this caused a big issue. Then Maddie gets home to California. She was living in California at the time. And then she goes to a friend's birthday party. And at that friend's birthday party, that friend talked about how I had just done a FaceTime date with her. And so Maddie finds out about all of the dates, and that caused some issue. And we could probably talk about,
which is great,
the problems of the dating thing, because that caused issues for months, obviously.
Totally. Because
if you're not upfront and clear about things, which... Yeah, to be honest,
did you learn the hard way? Like,
I definitely
was this
learned
something
a little
that
bit
you knew you should have been doing, and maybe just
no. So this is what I did wrong. So even though I'm saying I did the dating challenge, I didn't do it perfect. Or, I did not do it perfect.
Well, I mean, you stacked up the dates perfectly, but the part about
I kind of realized that. Yeah, exactly. So, I didn't pick up on that joke until I did. I realized that you kind of have to tell people that you're doing the dating challenge. But the problem is you don't, it never really worked as like a good first date conversation, because then they just felt not important, which they are important. And so literally I would go on like one date with somebody and be like, yeah, no, okay. Like I thought I want to go on the dates with this person, but I'm glad that I went on one date with this person, because no. And literally that was girl number 2, girl number 3 on those coffee dates. I was like, yeah, no, this seems like a cool person. She's attractive, as in I find her attractive, but I'm like, no, like
personality,
no, like this is not going to work. And like literally it was so nice, so easy, because then it could be like, boom, done.
Totally.
And then, but yeah, obviously if you go on multiple dates with somebody, you need to tell somebody, that, hey, I'm dating you, but I want to let you know that I'm also open to you dating other people, and even me dating other people, because we're not in an established relationship.
Yeah. Kait did that to me on the first date.
Oh yeah.
But she did it at the end.
Is this the in and out date?
No. The first virtual, we did a FaceTime date.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. First date. Yeah. She did it at the end. So I don't know if you told people about this at the very beginning.
I definitely should have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I messed up.
Yeah.
And then I'll be honest, like, that's just the thing. Like everyone's story is different, and I definitely messed up. I'm sorry. I cut you.
Alec, no, you're good. Yeah. Well, and I appreciate it. First of all, I appreciate that. And I told Alec before the podcast, hey, whenever possible, I love to quote tattle on myself and be transparent and vulnerable about where I mess up, because that helps other people learn.
Yeah.
And I think like we never punish someone for being vulnerable or transparent, know, and this is, guess what? Right before you started this dating challenge, how awesome would it have been to have listened to this episode?
Oh, it would have been really good, because no, absolutely. Like I was, even though like, I don't know, I was paralyzed by dating. Like I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I was too, man.
Yeah.
I was too. And then when I started doing it, guess what? It's so funny, because we never talked about this. I was so bad at it. Like I was so bad at quote dating, because I had no idea what I was doing, and I was doing it all the wrong ways. I was asking out girls. None of my friends knew I was going on dates with them. I was making out with them after the first date.
What?
Yeah,
JJ.
I know. And then I like carried shame about that. Right, I carried shame because I couldn't tell anyone because I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And whenever you're in those positions, what's funny is, it's like the prison of shame keeps you, bound, and then you keep doing the same thing. It's not like you stop because you feel ashamed about it, but you can end up still doing the same thing. Like maybe you felt ashamed about the dating challenge, not telling people, but you didn't stop either, right?
Very ashamed. So, well, no. Okay. So after that whole like kind of quick weekend / week of dating people, then believe it or not, Maddie, she actually moved to my same state. for a completely different reason.
But she was over you because she just found out.
No, she wasn't over me, but then I was like, oh, here she is again. And then I started dating her again, and as in going on dates with her.
Uh-huh.
And I had to do a lot of backtracking, and there had to be healing in the relationship because Maddie.
Well, once you got in a relationship, there had to be healing, is what you're saying?
No, even kind of beforehand.
Okay, and it's good it came to the surface, right?
Yeah, so Maddie was really upset about it, and then it was kind of funny because then she's like, "Well, if he's going to go on dates with people, then I'm going to go on dates with people." And then so Maddie went on a date with this one dude, and then she's like, "I really don't like this guy at all." And she's like, "Actually, I think I like Alec." And so it actually helped because
Give her clarity.
So yeah, and I'll actually give some clarity here. So once Maddie moved to the same city as me, I only went on one more date after that. And that date was just because it was actually a date that I promised somebody before I was like in an established relationship, or not an established relationship. I was dating Maddie more frequently. So I was going on dates more often with Maddie. So the things that I did wrong though, I didn't tell Maddie about literally anything. I was just like, no, this is like my dating life. I'll do whatever like I want.
Right.
Which I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have. If you're going on a date with somebody's being vulnerable with you by going on a date, you might as well tell them. And now I don't know if there's a perfect number of after the first day. I like that. What you guys did, that's great. I don't know if it's after a few dates and be like, hey, but like, and you guys probably have more knowledge on that from just talking to your listeners. But I will say the thing that I did wrong was I didn't talk to Maddie really about it.
Yes.
At all.
Right.
And that was wrong. And then later I explained to her whenever I went on that one date that I promised somebody that I'd go on a date. She was okay with that whenever I told her, like, honestly, I gave my word to, and it was actually a guy friend. A guy friend called me up and was like, dude, I'm setting you up on a date with somebody. You need to go on this date. Just like say yes right now. And I was like, all right, sure, fine. I trust you, bro. And I did that like literally before Maddie and I started going on more continual dates. And so, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a good question. Yeah. And we have one more to wrap up on.
Yeah. I'm sorry. But I know that was a little long-winded, but I hope that was helpful for people here.
It's so helpful.
Story. Yeah.
It's great. And in hindsight, I think it's so helpful. There's not really a good number. Like we say anywhere from the first to third date. The sooner the better, but this is the most important thing because it's daunting, right? Like if you go back and feel the way you're feeling, the emotions that were coming up, should I tell them? It's daunting to tell someone. Yeah. You know what's crazy? And all the stories we've heard, and we've encouraged at this point thousands of people to do it. We have heard back maybe like a handful of times. Think about thousands, and a handful of times we've heard back. People have gotten upset or taken it the wrong way. And like the overwhelming 99% of times that people share that information, like, by the way, I am dating other people right now. Like I'm going on dates with other people. Yeah. It's even part of this dating challenge, which I'm really challenging myself. I mean,
if I knew there's a dating challenge and if I could have explained it that way, that would have been so much easier.
It's so helpful.
Totally do that, people. Yes.
But that like I'm not joking. 99% of the time, people are like, totally understand. That actually sounds really interesting. Because here's the thing. When you're on Hinge or you're going on dates, like people are dating other people. Like you're matching with other people going on dates. Yeah. It just, there is a weirdness to sometimes like maybe a Christian dating culture where it's like, there's this like hyped up, oh, he asked me on a date, we're basically getting married. There's no way he's allowed to do that with someone else.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter maybe which number. We always just say the sooner the better. And then it's like, how would you hear if you were hearing this on the other end? Yeah. You'd be totally understanding, right? Like, oh yeah. It'd be like, not a problem.
Yeah, I actually definitely would. I think if somebody told me that.
But so my question to end on is this. What's the difference between dating multiple people and being a player?
Okay, that's a very important distinguish. So I'm glad that you even asked that because that allows me to even say something. So by me not telling Maddie, I really hurt Maddie, and I just want to make it clear. I just want to finish up. You're the last thing you said. Like, I highly recommend people talking to people about it beforehand because it really did cause pain for Maddie. And if I could have taken away that pain by talking to Maddie about things sooner, I totally would have. Like, it it really was not a good thing. So am I happy? Yes. That Maddie and I got married?
Yeah.
Absolutely, of course. Am I happy that by just trying different dates with different people, and literally even me going on that one promise date with somebody was like a big factor for me being like, oh, dude, Maddie's like the greatest woman ever. Like me just going out to coffee with this person for like 40 minutes.
And both of you guys actually had that same experience. Going on a date with a different person actually helped clarify that you actually really enjoyed each other the most.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear that it's not the right thing to do. But now the player aspect, what's up, Lovey? Oh, thanks. You're just consoling me. But yeah. So the player aspect that you ask, a very important thing that I did was I did not kiss Maddie. I did not hold her hand. I mean, I'm not saying somebody doesn't have to hold hands, but like for me, it was so clear that, hey, if I'm not going to be in an established relationship with somebody yet, I'm not literally going to like do any physical touch. Like I'll hug them, you know, I won't be awkward.
Yeah.
Like, oh, get away from me, person, you know, or like anything like that.
Sorry.
No,
not a hugger.
No, but I think a good indicator of a player is somebody who obviously, because I think nobody wants to be a player, but I think if you're being driven by your physical desires, that can sometimes pull you into that player field for sure.
Totally.
So if you need to realize if you're a man and if you're even doing something like the dating challenge, and if your desire is to, gosh, I want to go on this date with this girl, and dude, I just want to make out with her tonight. Like, you know, like you have to realize, okay, I have to be extra mindful of like myself, because you're like, this is another area that's coming out. And of course, physical touch is going to open up so many more doors, and it's going to open up so much more of like attraction to people and all the science behind it of, you know, like just literally just touching somebody else, like holding, like kissing somebody and like
getting turned on, right?
Yeah,
like
how that's going to bond you so much more to somebody. And then you won't even know if you really even like that person.
Totally. Yeah.
Because you're going to, of course, like the physical attributes that, anyways, or not physical attributes, the physical reactions that are happening.
Or you're just going to carry so much shame that you cross physical boundaries that you just kind of discard them and don't treat them as a human.
Yep.
That's what I did on the other side of this.
So let me bring all this back together. Was I a player with Maddie? I would say partly yes, because I didn't tell her that I was doing the dating challenge. I kept that to myself.
Okay.
So I would say that secretiveness, it did give me a player type feel. My saving grace, though, was Maddie was able to know my heart, though, because I would not. Like, literally, I held her hand, I think, twice, like, throughout a 6-month period of Maddie and I going on dates. And I think that was my saving grace, because then she knew that, you know, it wasn't for like any wrong reasons. And, and then all of her friends who did not agree with the dating challenge, because she had tons of friends who did not agree with the dating challenge, and would tell her constantly. It was also a saving grace as well with her friends that I did not try to do anything with Maddie. I did not like there was nothing. And so because of that, I think that was really a good saving grace.
Wow.
Yeah. And so if you don't want to be a player, understand your intentions behind stuff. If you want to be kissing somebody, just understand, okay, hang on. Even though I want this physical reaction or this physical touch, because I'm a physical touch person, so what? Like, I'm a physical touch person. My wife's a physical touch person. Like you can hold back. You can use prudence and
that's so good. Man, that is so good, because I love how you're vulnerable enough to be like, I was a player in the sense of this. I was acting with
kind of like
would you say that? I know it's a strong word, with deceit.
It's not really deception. It was just more like, it's more just like hiding,
withholding
information. Because I mean, I don't know. Like it wasn't so much like
you're just nervous about sharing it.
It wasn't so much about like, I mean, obviously I didn't want to lose Maddie. I thought maybe like she'd take it rough. Yeah. And she was already telling me how rough it was for her whenever, whenever everything did more so come out. But yeah, it's just, it's just not honoring. It's like, so literally by not honoring or not being disciplined, you can literally become a player.
Yeah, I like that. I was trying to think of a good definition in my head. I'm like, a player is anyone who probably chooses at the end of the day to honor themselves over you. Whether it's like with deception, secret motive, trying to get something out of you, like making out.
Yeah.
A player what it ultimately comes down to is a player is more concerned with themselves than they are with you.
Correct.
And that can be.
And I was more concerned with myself by not sharing things to Maddie.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a way of like really selfishness.
Totally.
And it wasn't honoring her.
And I hear you. And I get it. And that, but of all the like layers of being a player, right, that probably has like, but that's still brought emotional pain and hurt, you know?
No, I mean, as in guys, really, you need to share it and you need to talk to somebody, in the sense that we dealt with this probably up until like maybe 9 months even into our marriage.
Wow.
So like it caused a wound, and it was not a good thing.
Wow. You know, that is so crazy, because in the sense of you're building a foundation, you know, in that very sense from the first date.
Yeah.
Right. And so part of the foundation was that mistrust.
Yep.
And it's so interesting too, because I've gotten to know you and I have just the utmost respect for you, like in character. I really admire you, like as a friend. And even to the best of us, right? Like we can just have those lapses in judgment that just come back and, plague us like in relationship, you know? So like, honesty is, and that is a life policy that I've just had to adopt. Yeah. Honesty and never withholding information is always the best policy. Yeah. Like it's always, like I had a client call today and they were like, should we use you or should we use these guys? I don't think they could do this part of their job very well. And I said, honestly, my policy is be as transparent with you guys as possible, even if it means losing you as a client. They can do that job too. You could use them and it could go well. Now you might want to think about this, but I'm going to be honest. If I were you, you should know that they could do it. And that honesty and withholding of information, I think is just the best policy. But in dating, I love how much you harped on, like, if you know that you have an ulterior motive, which at the end of the night is to kiss them or make out with them or hold their hand, like that ultimately is choosing to date out of a sexual desire and fulfillment and like what you're going to get out of it. And I think I cannot think of in general, more unhealthy way to date. Yeah. Right. Versus what we love to say, which is leaving people better than you found them. Yep. Right. And choosing them over yourself. Yeah. No, that's totally it. Choosing them over yourself. Yeah. 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 Dude, thank you so much. That was so good. I really appreciate you being so vulnerable. I know you haven't really shared that story that much, have you? No. Maddie and I, we haven't shared it too much. I mean, we've shared it with friends for sure. We've shared it with people, and it wasn't a thing to be shared until it was really like healed. Yes. To be totally honest, like, because it really is something that can be wounding, and it is something that, was an area where, again, you don't want to be a player, but there's areas where you can be a player with literally not even filling up the normal sense of the definition of like a player. Yeah, you have no intention of being one. Yes, so you can even do it through little actions. And so, by honoring and by having discipline, you can stay away from that. Dude, thank you so much. That was so much fun. Thank you, Alec. Absolutely. Yeah.